Hello guys and welcome to this lesson. Today's lesson is a little bit special because in the past you've got a worksheet with the answers, but now that you're officially on unit 3, you're going to be doing all of the coding by yourself. I'm only going to be giving you the tools. So the worksheet is there to help you understand and consolidate your learning, to help you really understand what I'm trying to teach you. But you'll be in charge of figuring out the code for yourself. So what do we have for our first lesson? Let's take a look. So as you can see, I'll build 3 different mazes. So it took me such a long time to build these mazes, but we'll take a look. So you can see that they're fairly simple in the beginning. They get a little bit harder. This one looks very simple, but you have to understand that this thing here, you have to understand how to overcome this little bit here using your agent. It comes here, and it turns left. This one here is maze 5, and if you do get to this, it's going to be very difficult for you to figure it out. You can do it, it just is very difficult. It took me about 20 minutes to do it myself, and I'm the one who built it, right? So if you don't do it, that's fine. The idea is for you to try to get as far as you can using the tools that you have at your disposal. So let's see how we can start. I'm going to show you my code now. So I'm going to press C and open my code editor. You can see this is my code: maze 1, maze 2, maze 3, maze 4. And this is everything we have. I've left out maze 5 because I want that to be a complete surprise for you when you get to that point. But all we need to do to get started is have on-chat command agent teleport to player and on-chat command agent turn right. Now, I want you to figure these 2 out, or rather code these 2. Fairly simple, and then get started on maze 1 right away. So if I go here, if I just type in RL, you can see that actually my agent is looking the wrong way, and it's actually in the wrong place too. So you type in RL again. Now it's in the right place, but it's looking the wrong way. So you type in agent right again, agent right again, and that will make it face the right way. Now, I've already coded the answer for maze 1, which is right here. It's fairly simple, but I've clicked this as false. I want this to be true. And when the agent has gone to the end and hits these 2 redstone blocks, then go back to the code editor, I click false right there, just so it switches itself off. Otherwise, it's going to keep going and going and going. And yeah, it'll go on forever. So, I started maze 1, like so. Oh, if it works. Is there a reason why it's not working? Ah, yes, it's because it's false. There we go. Now, it should work. It goes forward. It turns right. How does that work? Well, let's take a look at what's happening, right? So when I type in maze 1, it evaluates this, which is usually true. Then it moves forward by 1, and it keeps moving forward, until the agent detects a block going forward. Or that's in front of it. So when it gets here, oh, it detects a block. So inside of this, what happens? It turns right. Okay, turn right. Then what happens? Okay, this code block finishes. So it goes back to the beginning. This while loop just keeps on going forever and forever. Then it goes forward again. And then when it hits another block right here, that's when it starts to go and evaluate this conditional statement once again, which means it starts to do the conditional statement once again. So that's a little bit about that piece of code there. Let's look at maze 2. I'm going to type in RL, like so. You can type in agent right, just so it's flipping in the right place. And let's type in maze 2. I might have switched it off. I did switch it off. There we go. Now, you'll notice that this maze is a little bit different. Why? Because at every end, there is a redstone block. So instead of using this here, which says block, I've used redstone. So you'll need to change that too. I'll make the switch to true. Right. This is fairly simple, but it gets a little bit more interesting on maze 3 and maze 4. So you need to understand how to change that, because you'll be able to change the direction of your agent based on whether it's a redstone block or a regular block that's in front of you. And it could be below you, behind you, on the right of you, on the left of you, above you. So it could be anywhere as long as the agent can detect that. So let's type in maze 2 and see what happens. Maze maze 2. If I can type, I cannot type. There we go. Okay, bad time. So, every time it hits a redstone block, it turns right and keeps going forward until the very end, and it's going to get stuck here, I think. Yes. There we go. So make sure to switch that to false, like so, just to deactivate that. And now we can go to maze 3. Maze 3 is way more complicated. You can see, so if you navigate this, you have to go right when you hit a block, left when you hit a redstone, left when you hit redstone, right when you hit block, right, you go right again, then we go right again, redstone so it's left, redstone so it's left, redstone so it's left, then we go all the way to the bottom, turn right, and then we hit the redstone right at the end. So we need to make sure that we have two different conditional statements that tell the agent what to do. Let's actually type in RL. Okay, good. An agent, right. There we go. So what's happening here? Well, it's the same as before. It moves forward until it sees a redstone in front of it. Then it turns left. If it sees a block in front of it, then it turns right. Now, there's something very important here to understand about this piece of code. I'm going to show you in a second. If I type maze 3, let's see what happens. I'll need to set to true first. There we go. This is going to work, but I'm going to show you why it might not work for you. Turns right, turns left, turns right. Okay. It's going to go all the way around until it reaches the end of the maze. That's how it finds its way out, or at least its way to the 2 redstone doors or blocks right there. Perfect. However, blocks, well, redstone is actually a block. So how does it differentiate, or how does it know which one to do? Well, if we actually switch these 2 around, so I'm going to put this here, put that there, just so I know where it's come from. Put that there, put that there. So now we're switching things like so. Oh, by the way, this if statement comes from the conditional right here in logic. It's this one right here. And then this agent detect is just an agents. It'll be the triangle. There we go, right there. Perfect. So now if I type in maze 3, if I go back to the end, what's going to happen? Let's have a look. So we're typing agent right. Okay, agent right again. One more time. Okay, now if I can maze 3. It's not going to do what we think it's going to do, if I'm correct. Yes. See how we get stuck here? So your conditional statements have some inbuilt priority in terms of what's happening. So what you should do is do the least likely thing to happen first, and then do the more common thing later on, which is what we did originally. But right now, we've done the most common thing to happen and then the least likely thing later on. So you want to be super specific right at the start and get less specific as you go down your conditional statements. So let's actually move these back. There we go. Now we'll get rid of that. Okay, and get rid of that. There we go. This here. That goes right there. That goes right there. That goes right there. So yes, as you can see, that did go to the end before. So let's go to maze 4. Maze 4 is a little bit tricky because it gets to here, hits a block, goes up. Then, thing is here, it hits another block going forward. So we need a way to differentiate between this step, which is a block in front of it, moving up 1 and going forward, and this step here, which is another block in front of it, also a redstone beneath us. And that's where we use this right here, which is an AND. Actually, we didn't use an AND. We didn't use an AND at all, but we'll need to use an AND later on. And we could have used it here in maze 4, but we didn't. So let me actually show you where the AND is. So the AND is right here. This is just for saying if 2 things are happening at the same time, then do the thing that follows this piece of code, right? But all we did is move forward. If there's a redstone beneath it, then we take a right. And if there's a redstone in front of it, we take a left. And if there's a regular block in front of it, we move up. That's all it did. So we're using the same set of tools, right? We're saying turn left, turn right, move forward, or move up. And we're just trying to figure out what the agent has around it that can give it a specific instruction to move around space. So let's do that right now. I'll roll. Good. We'll do agent right. There we go. And we'll back through. Hopefully this will work. Wonderful. Wonderful. Moving forward. Okay. And like I said, be super specific at the start. That's how it's able to differentiate between this here and this here. Because if we didn't make the differentiation, it would have just kept on going. The agent has actually just ran off. But it did actually end up hitting this. So what happened was, when it sees a redstone in front of it, it turns left. So it turns left here. Okay. Hits this block, redstone in front of it, turn left. Okay, now it sees a regular block and there's no redstone below me. So it goes up and it just keeps going forward and forward and forward and forward. We're just going to keep going in that direction until we tell it to stop, which is right now, matter of fact. There we go. Pause. Okay, perfect. There we go. Really cool. The next step for you guys is to do this one here, which is really difficult, but I know you can do it. And in fact, if you find it really difficult, I can make it something for you. Like I can make another one right here, and that'll be much simpler. And yeah, we can go through that. But I suspect this will take you a long time to figure out. So hopefully it will take the entirety of the lesson. If it doesn't, I'll build something for us in class and you can troubleshoot it live with me. Before I go, I'm going to show you one more thing. So like I said, we could have used the AND statement to be really specific. So we could say here, let's put this here. So we can say if there's a redstone down, like that, this is a really long piece of code, like that. And there's also a block in front of it, like so. So we're going to copy and paste. Put that right here. Okay, there we go. You see how long this is? You could have used that too. And that would have worked exactly the same way. But it's just longer and more complicated for no reason, so I didn't do that. But let's just see how that works. So, yeah. So, actually, you know what? We'll do it for this maze fight instead. So, for example, it comes up. Okay, it sees a redstone block. Take a right. Okay, now it sees a regular block. Take a left. Okay, now there's redstone on the left, in front, and on the right. So it should go up until something else interrupts this pattern, which will be the redstone above it. Then it goes forward. Okay, there's a redstone on the right. Good, now maybe take a left. Here, now there's redstone on the left and on the right. And remember that the agent is actually quite small, much smaller than this character here. So it can go through one block height, things like this. So this will be the really difficult part, where you need to figure out how it's able to use the surroundings and detect the things around us, go down here. When it gets to this point, there'll be enough space for the agent to move forward and go to the end. And actually, I need to fill this in right there. Do it right now. Okay. If I can get that. Okay, there we go. Okay, perfect. There we go. Okay. And that's it, guys. That's the end of the lesson. Well, that's the end of this tutorial. So hopefully you guys will have loads of fun tomorrow. I know I'm looking forward to it. I'm really curious about if you're going to get to Maze 5 and if you can figure it out. Because it's actually really simple. You just need to think about being super specific right at the end or right at the start and less specific right at the start. So it might be good to sort of start from the end and work your way backwards in some cases. Okay, guys, so it was great seeing you. And I hope to see you guys soon in the next lesson. Goodbye and see you guys next time.